Hi, thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it. I very much enjoyed the series. I started it last night and finished it this morning. So,
Oh, wow. You did
so,
enjoy it. Thank you very
yes,
much.
I
That's
did. I
great.
did. So, was there anywhere in particular that you drew inspiration for the character from?
I mean, all sorts of places, really. I don't think I ever, or very rarely, unless I'm playing a real person, draw on sort of a specific person or anything like that. But I just do it in layers, really. I try and, I start obviously with the script and what the script's telling me, and then I do as much research as I feel I need to do about subject matters involved. And obviously for Eleanor, her son has a serious eye condition that's that's gradually caused him to be blind, and she's trying to fight for this groundbreaking surgery to save his sight. And also obviously the bigger picture of what's happening in the world because of what's happening with the oil in our story, and how that could, and as we are seeing at the moment, does affect us as a world community. So there's all those issues, but then there's obviously the minutiae of her emotions about her son, and also her emotions about her marriage, and how she feels that Andy isn't kind of turning up for her right now at this moment she needs him the most, when Sam's about to have this surgery. And Matthew and I did a lot of work with our brilliant director Denny Gordon in rehearsals, because we don't have a massive amount of screen time together. We wanted to make sure that our marriage and our history as a couple, we'd worked that out together, so we had that sort of muscle memory of how they're feeling about each other now, how they've got to this point, what they're both feeling, why they've got to this point, why is Andy sort of burying his head in the sand with work a little bit, why does he have to, is it a choice, is it all of those things. So yeah, it just sort of becomes a rich tapestry, really, of all sorts of things that you weave into a character.
What part was the easiest and the hardest to connect to with her, though?
Oh, the easiest to connect to and the hardest. Well, the hardest was to connect to was the French, because I didn't speak French. So that was definitely the hardest bit. But and now I absolutely loved actually speaking my few lines of French, and now it's inspired me to carry on. So the easiest part to connect with her love and her humanity, her love for her son and her love for her family, and her passion for the people she loves, really.
Right. You make me wonder, though, when you have to learn lines like that in French, are you learning French at all as you do it, or just really learning literal word for word how to say specific
I
lines?
was learning word for word, and I was also trying to learn how to do the sounds, because although Eleanor's British in our story,
Yeah.
she's supposed to be, relatively fluent in French. So I needed to sound like I could believably speak conversational French pretty well, which apparently I pulled off. So I'm going to take that from genuine French citizens to French speakers. So yes, and I was actually working with two French actors, Farida and Samia, who were so kind to me and so patient, and helped me so much offset, sort of practice my lines, even though my scenes in French weren't with them. So that was lovely, and they were very good to me. Yeah.
Can you talk about working with Taylor? You two have a really good relationship in the show.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was fantastic working with Taylor. I mean, it's very difficult knowing, well, it's impossible to know how it's going to go when you're working with a child,
Yeah.
especially one that hasn't been on a set before. And this was Taylor's first job, and he's 8 years old. And it could have been a disaster, because obviously the majority of my scenes are me and Taylor, but it was an absolute dream. Taylor is such a smart cookie. He's so full of fun. He loved being on set. He had a really challenging role to play, and he just took it all in his stride. He enjoyed it. We just sort of, whenever I'm working with children, I try and sort of create it as play. I try and sort of frame it as play, and make it as fun as we possibly can, but also explain the stuff that when we've got to be really serious, and we've got to be really quiet, and we've got to do all those things, and also make them feel comfortable, so they can know they can ask me anything they don't understand, and I'll happily teach them whatever they need to know, and they can always ask me. And just want to make it a safe space for them, and for them to feel like they're in a safe space, and that they're trusted, and that they've got the freedom to play.
Right. All right. Well, I very much enjoyed it and looking forward to people seeing it so I can talk about it. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.